You know what's crazy? While most Americans are trading in their Fords every 100,000 miles, there are people in Japan keeping their vehicles running smoothly past 500,000, 700,000, even over 1,000,000 miles. And here's the kicker. They're not doing anything magical. They're following principles that Japanese automotive culture has perfected over decades. Today, I'm going to share these secrets with you and show you exactly how to apply them to your Ford. Whether you're driving an F-150, a Mustang, an Escape, or any other model, by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what it takes to potentially double or even triple your vehicle's lifespan. Let's dive in. Chapter 1. The Kaizen Mindset, Continuous Improvement. The first secret isn't mechanical, it's mental. The Japanese concept of Kaizen means continuous improvement through small, incremental changes. In automotive terms, this translates to a simple philosophy. Prevent problems before they start, rather than fixing them after they happen. Think about how most people treat their vehicles. They drive until something breaks, then they fix it. That's reactive maintenance. The Japanese approach is proactive maintenance, catching issues when they're tiny before they cascade into major failures. Here's how to apply Kaizen to your Ford. Weekly checks. Every Sunday, spend just 10 minutes doing a quick inspection. Check your tire pressure, look under the vehicle for leaks, peek at fluid levels, and listen for any unusual sounds when you start the engine. This takes less time than washing your car, but it's far more valuable. Monthly deep dives. Once a month, get under the hood. Check all fluid levels properly, inspect belts and hoses for cracks, look at your battery terminals for corrosion, and examine your air filter. Document everything. Take photos if it helps. The maintenance journal. This is crucial. Japanese drivers keep meticulous records. Start a simple spreadsheet or notebook. Record every fill-up, every oil change, every repair, every observation. Over time, you'll spot patterns before they become problems. Your Ford will tell you what it needs, if you're listening. This mindset shift alone can add 200,000 miles to your vehicle's life. Because when you catch a failing water pump bearing early, you spend $300. When you ignore it until it seizes, you're looking at $2,500 in engine damage. Chapter 2. The Oil Philosophy, Liquid Gold for Longevity. Let's talk about the single most important fluid in your Ford, motor oil. The Japanese don't mess around with oil changes, and neither should you. Here's the controversial truth. Your owner's manual might be wrong about oil change intervals. Ford often recommends 7,500 to 10,000 miles between changes with synthetic oil. That's fine for keeping your truck running through the warranty period. But if you want a million-mile Ford, you need to think differently. The 5,000-mile rule: change your oil every 5,000 miles, regardless of what the manual says. Yes, it costs more up front, but oil is cheap. Engines are expensive. In Japan, taxi drivers who put insane mileage on their vehicles change oil religiously every 3,000 to 5,000 miles. These are people who need their cars to last because they're business tools. Oil quality matters more than brand loyalty. Don't just grab whatever's on sale. Use high-quality synthetic oil that meets or exceeds Ford's specifications. Look for oils with high levels of anti-wear additives like ZDDP. For older Fords, consider high-mileage formulations once you pass 75,000 miles. The filter is half the equation. A premium oil with a cheap filter is like wearing a tuxedo with flip-flops. Invest in quality filters. OEM Ford filters are good, but brands like Motorcraft, Wix, or Purolator are excellent choices. Stay away from the $3 filters at discount stores. Here's a Japanese trick. Send your oil for analysis. Companies like Blackstone Labs will analyze your used oil for about $30. Do this once at 5,000 miles, once at 10,000 miles, and once at 15,000 miles. This tells you exactly how your engine is wearing and if you can safely extend oil changes or if you need to shorten them. One more critical point. Warm up your engine properly. In Japan, especially in colder regions, drivers let engines idle for 30 to 60 seconds before driving, then drive gently for the first 5 to 10 minutes. Cold oil doesn't lubricate properly. This simple habit prevents massive wear on critical engine components. Chapter 3. The Transmission Truth. Keep it shifting smoothly. Ford transmissions get a bad rap, and honestly, some of it is deserved. But here's what Japanese mechanics know. Most transmission failures are preventable. Lifetime fluid is a myth. If your Ford has a transmission with lifetime fluid, ignore that marketing nonsense. Change your transmission fluid every 50,000 miles. This single habit can prevent $4,000 to $6,000 transmission rebuilds. For Ford 10-speed transmissions, use Merckson ULV fluid. For older 6-speed automatics, use Merckson LV. Don't substitute. Transmission fluid is specific to the transmission design. The fluid and filter change. Don't just drain and fill. Do a complete fluid and filter change. About 30 to 40% of your transmission fluid sits in the Torque converter and doesn't drain out. So here's the Japanese method. Drain and refill with new fluid. Drive 100 miles. Drain and refill again. Drive 500 miles. Drain and refill one more time. This gets nearly 100% of the old fluid out. Yes, it uses more fluid and costs more, but you're flushing out years of accumulated debris, metal particles, and degraded fluid. Temperature is the enemy. Heat kills transmissions. If you tow with your Ford or you drive in mountainous terrain, install an aftermarket transmission cooler. Japanese commercial vehicles almost always have supplementary cooling. Keep transmission temperatures under 200 degrees Fahrenheit, and your transmission can last 300,000 plus miles. If you made it this far, then consider liking this video, giving it a thumbs up, and subscribing to my channel. This helps me bring you more honest car advice. Rust Prevention Protocol – Fighting the Silent Killer. In Japan, especially in coastal areas, rust prevention is taken seriously. Cars are undercoated, regularly washed underneath, and protected from the elements. This is crucial if you live in the Rust Belt or near the ocean. The undercoating investment, before your first winter, or if you've just bought a Ford, get it professionally undercoated. Fluid film and wool wax are excellent products. This costs $300 to $500, but it prevents thousands in rust damage. The winter washing ritual. If you drive in snow and salt, wash your undercarriage every 2 weeks. Not just the body. Get under there and blast off the salt. Many car washes have undercarriage sprayers. Use them. Drain holes matter. Your Ford has drain holes in the doors, rocker panels, and frame. These get clogged with debris. Once a year, clear them out with a wire or compressed air. Water sitting in these cavities causes rust from the inside out. The frame inspection, twice a year. Get under your truck, safely, on jack stands, and inspect the frame. Look for bubbling paint, surface rust, or flaking. Catch rust early, wire brush it, treat it with a rust converter, and seal it. Let it go, and you'll have holes in your frame. Japanese taxi drivers in snowy regions spray their entire undercarriage with fluid film every fall. It's messy, but it works. One application costs about $30 in materials and can prevent $5,000 in rust repairs. Chapter 5. Cooling System Care – Preventing Overheating Disasters. Overheating is one of the top engine killers. The Japanese approach to cooling systems is preventative and thorough. Coolant changes every 3 years. Not 5 years, not 10 years. Every 3 years or 50,000 miles. Modern coolants break down. The anti-corrosion additives deplete. Old coolant is acidic and eats your radiator, heater core, and water pump from the inside. Use the proper coolant for your Ford. Most modern Fords use Motorcraft orange or yellow coolant. Don't mix types. When you change coolant, use distilled water for mixing. Never tap water. The full system flush. Every 6 years or 100,000 miles, do a complete cooling system flush. This means remove the thermostat temporarily, flush with a cooling system cleaner, flush with distilled water until it runs clear, replace thermostat, water pump, if near 100,000 miles, and all hoses showing any signs of wear. Refill with fresh coolant. The pressure test. Once a year, pressure test your cooling system. Most auto parts stores will lend you the tool for free. This catches leaks early, before you're stranded on the highway with a blown head gasket. Radiator and condenser cleaning. Your radiator collects bugs, dirt, and debris. Once a year, carefully clean it with a garden hose from the backside. Don't use high pressure. You'll bend the fins. A clean radiator transfers heat 30% better than a dirty one. Chapter 6. Japanese Driving Techniques. How you drive matters. How you drive matters as much as how you maintain your Ford. Japanese professional drivers, taxi drivers, delivery drivers use techniques that maximize vehicle longevity. The gentle acceleration rule. Avoid hard acceleration except in emergencies. When you floor it, you spike cylinder pressures, stress the transmission, and accelerate wear on dozens of components. Smooth progressive acceleration uses the same amount of gas over distance, but causes dramatically less wear. Engine braking over brake riding. Downshift before descending long hills rather than riding your brakes. This saves your brake pads and rotors, reduces heat buildup, and actually saves fuel. The full stop philosophy: come to complete stops at stop signs. Rolling stops stress your transmission and brakes asymmetrically. Full stops, though they feel slower, are mechanically gentler. Avoid short trips when possible. Short trips, under 10 minutes, are murder on engines. The engine never reaches full operating temperature, which means condensation in the oil, incomplete combustion, and carbon buildup. Japanese drivers combine errands to reduce the number of cold starts. The highway therapy: once a week, take your Ford on a 30-minute highway drive. This gets everything up to temperature, burns off carbon deposits, evaporates moisture from the oil, and exercises all the systems. Think of it as a workout for your vehicle. Chapter 7. Prevention over perfection. Replace before it fails. Japanese automotive culture embraces an idea that seems obvious, but Americans often ignore. It's cheaper to prevent failure than to repair failure. The bearing philosophy: wheel bearings, driveshaft U-joints, steering components, these all have service lives. Don't wait for them to fail. Replace them proactively at recommended intervals. A $150 wheel bearing replacement is cheap. The $3,000 accident when it fails at highway speed is not. The timing chain inspection: if your Ford has a timing chain, most do, have it inspected at 150,000 miles. If there's any stretch or the guides show wear, replace it. A timing chain failure grenades your engine. The replacement costs $1,500 to $2,500. A new engine costs $8,000 to $12,000. Spark plugs before problems. Change spark plugs at or before the recommended interval. Don't wait for misfires. Old spark plugs stress your ignition coils, damage catalytic converters, and reduce fuel economy. New plugs cost $40 to $80. New coils and cats cost $2,000 plus. Sensors before systems. Oxygen sensors, MAF sensors, and temperature sensors degrade gradually. Replace them proactively every 80,000 to 100,000 miles. Bad sensors cause your engine to run rich or lean, which destroys catalytic converters and reduces engine life. Chapter 8. The Million-Mile Roadmap. Your journey to ultimate longevity. Getting your Ford to 1,000,000 miles isn't about one big secret. It's about consistently applying these principles over time. Let me break down the realistic timeline and costs. Years 1 to 5, 0 to 100,000 miles. Standard maintenance, plus establish your routines. Expected costs: $3,000 to $4,000 total. This is oil changes, fluid services, tire rotations, and minor wear items. Years 6 to 10, 100,000 to 200,000 miles. This is when you start proactive replacements. Water pump, spark plugs, transmission service, coolant flush, and possibly some suspension components. Expected costs: $5,000 to $7,000 total. Years 11 to 15, 200,000 to 300,000 miles. More proactive replacements. Timing chain possibly, alternator, starter, AC compressor, and more suspension work. Expected costs: $6,000 to $9,000 total. Years 16 to 20, 300,000 to 400,000 plus miles. At this point, you're replacing many components for the second time, but the core engine and transmission, if you've maintained them properly, are still strong. Expected costs: $7,000 to $10,000 total. Total cost to 1,000,000 miles, roughly $30,000 to $40,000 in maintenance and repairs over 20 to 25 years. Compare that to buying a new $50,000 Ford every 100,000 miles. Over the same period, you'd spend $500,000 on vehicles. The math is obvious. The bottom line. Here's the bottom line. Getting your Ford to 1,000,000 miles is absolutely achievable, but it requires a mindset shift. You need to think like a Japanese taxi driver. Your vehicle isn't just transportation, it's an investment that deserves care and attention. The secrets aren't really secrets at all. They're disciplines. Maintain proactively, not reactively. Change fluids more often than recommended. Prevent rust aggressively. Drive smoothly and purposefully. Replace components before they fail. Keep detailed records. Think long-term, not short-term. Every Ford, yes, even yours, has the potential to be a 1,000,000-mile vehicle. The question isn't whether your truck or car can make it. The question is whether you will do what's necessary to get it there. If you implement even half of what I've shared today, you'll dramatically extend your Ford's life. Start small. Pick 3 things from this video and commit to them for the next month. Then add more. Your future self and your bank account will thank you. If you found this valuable, hit that like button, subscribe for more automotive longevity content, And drop a comment telling me what Ford you're driving and what mileage you're targeting. Let's build a community of million-mile Ford owners. I'll see you in the next one. Keep those Fords running forever.